Let us understand the continuous distributions now. We have already discussed about the random variable, and we know that a random variable x can be assigned some values xi based on the sample space, and each of these xi values has certain probability pi, which is a function of xi associated with this. And we have also tried to plot them on a graph, and we have seen that we get such points in the pi versus xi graph, which are basically discrete. So we have got discrete points on the graph, but this need not be true always. In certain cases, this variable x can take all the possible values starting from a lower bound to an upper bound. In that case, this variable x and the corresponding probability p gives rise to a continuous distribution. So a graph when plotted will be, suppose the graph equivalent to this type of distribution is going to appear like a continuous curve starting from lower bound say xa to an upper bound say xb. So such type of distributions are called as continuous distributions. For an example, suppose there is a particle which is allowed to move between some x equal to 0 to x equal to L, and this is a free particle. So this is moving with a constant velocity v. So if we talk in terms of probability of existence of this particle anywhere between x equal to 0 to x equal to L, all the values of x are allowed. That is, all those values can be taken by the particle. That is, the particle can be found anywhere in between this entire region. So in that case, this probability distribution is going to be a continuous function. Accordingly, we have to modify the formula, because earlier we have seen that the average value is given as summation over all i's xi pi, or just xi into f of xi, and so on. For the other formula as well, variance of x is just summation of xi minus mu bracket squared f of xi, right? And then the cumulative distribution function is summation of xi less than or equal to xj, right, of f of xi. Now these formulae, which involve summation sign for the discrete distributions, are to be replaced by an integration sign for the case of continuous distributions. So accordingly, mu would be given as integration over all space. So all space is in general starting from minus infinity to infinity, x fx dx. So it is the same formula, just the summation sign is replaced by integration. Similarly, the variance would be, in that case, integral over all space, that is over all the allowed values of x. The integral is over all the allowed values of x. X minus mu bracket squared fx dx, and the cumulative function fx would be starting from the lower bound to the given value of x, f of u du. So u takes values from minus infinity to x to get the cumulative function of the sum of probabilities up to the specified value of x. So these are the new formulae which we will apply if we plan to study continuous distributions. As an example, let us take the example of a ball thrown vertically upwards. This is a simplest example in physics, which involves a ball thrown vertically upwards. So suppose this is the ground level. So height at this place is 0. So this vertical coordinate, which is y-axis, can also be equally called as height h. Ball reaches certain maximum height, say L, and then it comes down by following the same path. So L is the maximum height reached during the motion. Of course, there is a gravitational acceleration g acting continuously on this ball. Now we can talk in terms, if we avoid the dissipative forces like air resistance and so on, we can talk of conservation of total energy, which is made up of the kinetic energy T and potential energy V. So when the ball is launched, it is having some velocity V. So when it reaches the maximum height, so E at L, so total energy of the ball is just mgl plus 0. This mgl is the potential energy at this position, m into g into the height, plus this 0 is the kinetic energy of the ball. Obviously it is 0 because when the ball moves upwards, its velocity goes on decreasing, and at this point it becomes 0, and hence the ball starts its downward motion thereafter. So at this particular point, the energy of the ball is mgl. Now since this is the total energy, it should be conserved. So this has to be equal to the total energy of the ball at any given place at some random height h. So suppose at height h, the corresponding potential energy is mgh and the corresponding kinetic energy is half mv squared. Right. So here we can get an expression for for v, since m gets cancelled throughout. Gl minus gh is half v squared. So this means v is just root 2g root L minus h. So this is the speed of the ball with which it is moving at any given height h. Now why are we determining an expression for v? In this problem, suppose we are asked to find out the probability that the ball is between height h to h plus dh. That is the question. Now the ball is supposed to spend a certain time dt from height h to h plus dh, and larger is that time, larger is the corresponding probability of its existence. So this probability in fact is proportional to dt, and we know by the definition of velocity that v is just dh by dt, that is the rate of change of displacement with respect to time. So this dt is just dh by v. So this probability is going to be proportional to dh by v. So using this, it is going to be proportional to dh by root 2g root L minus h. Now note that this is a proportionality sign and this root 2g is just a constant. So this can be absorbed inside the proportionality sign, and we can write it as p being proportional to dh upon root L minus h. We note that this probability is nothing but f of h dh, right? Probability that the ball is supposed to be there between height h and h plus dh is f of h dh. So it is proportional to dh upon root L minus h. So f of h becomes now proportional to 1 upon root L minus h. So let us introduce a constant of proportionality, say c. So this is the probability of existence of the ball. So c is just still unknown, so call it as some equation A. Now in order to find out c, we are going to use the basic definition or the requirement of probability. So starting from the height 0, which is ground level, to the maximum height, which is L, the ball is certainly going to exist somewhere. So if we just add up all these probabilities, the total probability is always equal to 1. So this is the fundamental rule which the function of probability must satisfy. So if we integrate over all the allowed values of h, which are from 0 to L, this is going to be equal to 1. So if we use equation A here, we get 0 to L c upon root of L minus h dh is equal to 1. Now just we have to solve this equation. C comes outside being a constant. 0 to L minus h raised to minus half, which is 1 upon square root, so that is raised to minus half dh is equal to 1. Now note that L is just a constant, so we can write it as L minus h raised to minus half d L minus h. But remember, there is a minus sign being introduced, so we put here a minus sign to adjust that. Since d of L is 0, we get a minus dh, which can be adjusted by this minus sign to get a dh. Now this gives us 0 to L. Since we know that integral x raised to n dx is just x raised to n plus 1 upon n plus 1, we get here L minus h raised to minus half plus 1 upon minus half plus 1 is equal to 1 from 0 to L. These are the limits of the integration. So this is just minus c L minus h raised to half divided by half is equal to 1. Of course, between limits 0 to L. So minus 2c is half, when shifted to the numerator becomes 2, and then we substitute the upper limit, which is L minus L raised to 1 by 2. We are substituting L for h, minus the lower limit L minus 0 raised to 1 by 2 equal to 1. So this is just 0, minus minus become plus, so we have 2c root L raised to 1 by 2 is root L is equal to 1. So c is equal to 1 upon 2 root L. So yes, we have with us an expression for c. Now this is, say, equation B. Now just look at the equation A, which we have already determined. Now we have with us a value for c, which is 1 upon 2 root L. So the proper expression for f of h is 1 upon 2 root L minus h. This is how we determine the probability f of h. That is the probability of existence of the ball at a given height h. This is how it is done. So we have to try for more such problems so that we get well versed with this concept. Thank you.